Hello, grade 4 students. I hope that you're all doing good. Today, we're going to start a new science lesson. We are still talking about living things. We already talked about different groups of plants, such as flowering plants that reproduce by seeds, conifers that reproduce by seeds, mosses and ferns, which are green plants that reproduce by making spores. We also talked about fungi, which are the mushrooms. Mushrooms are living organisms. They are not animals, they are not plants, and they reproduce by making spores. Today's lesson is about animals. So scientists classified animals into two big groups. We have the vertebrates. Vertebrates are animals with a backbone, with a spine. Look at the skeleton of this fish. Can you see its backbone? I'll draw it for you. This line is called the backbone of the fish. This animal has a backbone, so it is a vertebrate. Look at this. This is the skeleton of a bird. This bird has also a backbone, so it is a vertebrate. This is, I think, a horse. This horse, the skeleton of this horse shows a spine or a backbone, so it is a vertebrate. I will also draw it for you. This is the backbone of this animal, which makes it a vertebrate. Animals that don't have a backbone, like octopus, snails, jellyfish, ladybugs, cockroaches, grasshoppers, these animals do not have a backbone, so they are invertebrates. Let's do this together. I want you to think of the animal. Think if you can smash the animal. If you can, so this is an invertebrate and the animal does not have a backbone. If you cannot, this means that the animal is a vertebrate and it has a backbone, okay? Think of the dolphin. Does a dolphin have bones? Does it have a backbone? Yes, it does. So the dolphin is a vertebrate. It has a spine. It has a vertebral column. It has a backbone. So 3 words for the same organ. We call it a backbone. We call it also a spine or a vertebral column. This organ or this part of the body makes an animal a vertebrate. What about a camel? Can you smash it? No, you cannot. The camel has a backbone, so it is also a vertebrate. The lizard. Yes, for sure, it is a vertebrate. You cannot smash it. It has a backbone. What about a frog? The frog is also a vertebrate. Frogs do have backbones. A fish. Yes, think of the fish you eat. Don't you see their backbones sometimes? Fish are vertebrates. The bee. Can you smash a bee? Yes, you can. It is an invertebrate with no backbone. The grasshopper too. This is another invertebrate with no backbone. So again, what's the difference between a vertebrate and an invertebrate? Vertebrates are animals with a backbone. They do have a spine or a vertebral column. Vertebrates are divided into 5 groups. Group 1, the fish group. Group 2, the amphibians group. Group 3, reptiles. 4, birds. 5, mammals. fish, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals. All the animals that belong to these groups are vertebrates and they have a backbone. Again, scientists divided animals into two large groups, vertebrates and invertebrates. Okay, two big classes of animals. Vertebrates are animals with a backbone. Scientists divided these vertebrates into 5 subclasses, 5 small classes: fish, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals. Today's lesson is especially about the first group of vertebrates, the fish group. What makes an animal a fish? Let's answer some of those questions. What covers the body of fish? I want you to look carefully at the fish covering. What covers a fish? You can also ask your moms when they clean the fish. What do they remove? They remove the fish scales. These scales are called disconnected or detached scales because they are not connected to each other. You can take out the scales one by one. They are not connected to each other. So fish are animals covered by detached or disconnected scales. Do fish have legs or arms? No, they don't. What do they have instead? They have fins. This is a fin, and those are fins too. We can also see another fin right here, okay? Here is another fin, and this is a fin. This is also a fin. And this is a fin. Can fish live outside the water? No, for sure they cannot. Fish live inside the water. To swim in water, fish use their fins. So this is a fin. Those also are fins. The tail fin of a fish helps it to move forward in water. This is the tail fin. Okay? So the fish fins help it to swim in water. The tail fin helps it to move forward. And in order to breathe, fish use their gills. Where are the gills? Let me show you. Here are the gills. So this is actually the gills opening. So it is opened right here. And under this opening, you will see the gills. Fish use their gills to breathe. How does this happen? A fish takes in water through its mouth. Look at the arrows. So the water goes inside the fish body through the mouth. Before it leaves the body, the gills take the oxygen from water. So water goes inside from here and comes outside through the gills opening. But before it goes out, these gills, these red parts, take oxygen from the water before the water comes out of the fish body. So 3 steps. Water enters the fish body through the mouth. This is 1. The gills, these red parts, take the oxygen from the water, and then the water leaves the fish body through the gills opening because it is opened from here. Okay? The gills help a fish swim. What makes an animal a fish? First of all, fish live underwater. They are covered with disconnected scales. They use their gills to breathe and they use their fins to move. Fish are cold-blooded also. I want you to memorize this and to pay attention. What do we mean by cold-blooded? If you ask your moms too about your body temperature, she will say that your body temperature must be fixed. We have a normal body temperature equal to 37. So our body temperature is fixed in winter, in summer, whether it's cold or it's hot outside, the body temperature must always be equal to 37. We are warm-blooded. Warm-blooded means that the body temperature is fixed, but cold-blooded animals aren't like this. Their body temperature depends on the temperature in the outside. When it is cold outside, the body temperature of these animals goes down, and then they need to find warm places. And when it's hot outside, they feel too hot because their body temperature goes up, and they need to find places to cool down. So animals that are cold-blooded don't have a fixed body temperature. I will write it over here. They do not have a fixed body temperature like we do. We do have a fixed body temperature, but fish do not. They are cold-blooded. Fish are living things, aren't they? This means that they reproduce. How do they reproduce? They lay eggs in water. The female lays eggs. For this reason, we call them or classify them as oviparous animals. An oviparous animal is an animal that lays eggs. So cold-blooded and oviparous are two new words for you. Let's recap. This is a quick revision. What makes an animal a fish? First of all, animal or fish are animals that live in water. They cannot live outside water. They have disconnected or detached scales covering their bodies. They breathe with their gills. Water enters their body through the mouth. The gills take the oxygen from the water, and then water goes outside their body through the gills opening. Fish are oviparous. Fish reproduce by laying eggs in water. Fish are living things, so they make babies. How does this happen? By laying eggs. The females lay eggs in water. Fish are oviparous. Fish are also cold-blooded animals. They don't have a fixed body temperature, and they use their fins. This is a fin. This is another fin. To swim. They also use their tail fin to swim forward in water. Okay, this was everything for today. I think the lesson is easy. So as I told you, there are two large groups of animals, vertebrates and invertebrates. Vertebrates have a backbone or a spine or a vertebral column. These are three different names for the same part. It is the line of bones found in your back, the backbone, the spine, the vertebral column. Invertebrates, such as the octopus, the snail, the jellyfish, are not don't have a backbone, and they are called invertebrates. Vertebrates are classified into 5 groups: fish, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals. We will talk about each group in details. Today was the turn of the fish group. The fish is an animal that moves with its fins. Here is a fin, 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 tail fin, and this is also a fin, by the way. This is a fin, this is another fin, okay? Plant or fish use their fins to move. The gills opening. Here is the gills opening. This is the gills opening. What happens when a fish breathes? Water goes in through the mouth and it moves out through the gills opening. But before the water leaves the fish body, the gills take the oxygen from the water. This is how fish breathe. So water enters the fish body through the mouth, gills take the oxygen from water before it leaves the fish body, and then the water leaves the fish body. Okay, this is everything for today. Don't forget that fish are also cold-blooded and oviparous animals. If you still have any questions, don't hesitate. I'm always available and ready to answer your questions. I love you and thank you. Bye-bye.